A very pleasant good evening to you as we welcome you inside the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University for the Storm Report, season number 2, episode number 20, on the 10th day of April 2023. It's the post-weekend edition of the Storm Report. I'm Kevin Derryberry, your program host. My broadcast partner here this evening and my co-host is Mr. Tim Gooszen. And the two ladies in the middle, and is the head coach of the women's golf program, Miss Kristal Parker, along with Sophia Higuera, a student athlete here on the broadcast. Another action-packed program here for you. We will also entertain conversation with Travis Armstrong, the director of sports medicine here on campus for ACU, along with his assistant, Megan Vetter. And we'll also talk a little softball. We'll take it to the diamond, and we'll talk softball with Kaitlyn Anderson and Neely Bell. And we look forward to conversation with those two ladies. First and foremost, congratulations to your success, both of you, on your golf season. And Tim, good evening, sir. How are you?
Great. Happy Easter, by the way, to all of you here and listening. Great day with family. Hopefully you guys had that opportunity as well yesterday. So happy Easter to all of you.
We mentioned the Masters briefly in conversation here when you ladies arrived, and we'll just begin there. Did you both entertain the idea of watching the Masters, and did you enjoy the golf tournament?
That is the one event that I make sure I watch every year.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, bad weather though, but yeah, it was. Watched a few videos and sorts, but yeah.
Kristal, we're going to start with you, a young lady that went to UCLA. So you coached golf, you played golf, a 3-time NCAA All-American at UCLA, and you spent some time on the LPGA Tour as well, and now you're going to bring that impressive background here to ACU, leading these young ladies. What's your first 4 years been like here on campus?
You know, it's been a learning curve for me. This is my first college coaching position. I also have my own real estate business, so I work a lot.
Sure.
But it's been a real blessing to be here. The girls that I have on my team are just the best. They bring so much joy to my life. So it's been super fun. We're working hard to improve our scores, and we really want to be a national contender in a couple of years.
Sophia, welcome to the show. And
Thank you.
You've played for Coach Parker now both seasons. You had an opportunity to come from Las Vegas and join up with her team. What's your experience been in your first 2 years, almost 2 complete years, but almost 2 years for you?
It's been a really good experience. I had no expectation, didn't really know what it meant to go play collegiately at this level. It was sort of just like a big shot dream in the beginning. And once I got here, we started off with a fairly small team and had lots of adversity in the past year and a half, but it's been cool to see newcomers come and grow the program and see it develop into more than it was my first semester here. So,
kudos to Coach Parker on that then.
Hey, thanks.
Sophia, a sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. You spent some time at Desert Oasis High School, 4 years playing varsity golf, but at one point in your life you had the decision to make whether you wanted to continue to play soccer or make that transition into golf, and some 4 years later, here you are on the grandest stage here at ACU. Well, it's a grand stage for many of us, I think, at least for myself anyway. I'll speak for myself. But for you, Sophia, what was it like to make that choice, and what led you to play golf and make that your chosen profession at this state?
Yeah, so growing up, I came from a very athletic home. I played soccer from the age of 7 until 8th grade, and I played club soccer the majority of my life, and that was my whole life. Weekends, practices, 4 days a week, that consumed my life. And I got to a point where I didn't really love the game anymore, and I saw other girls leveling up to ECNL teams and paying more and more money to travel, and I didn't think I loved it enough to have my parents pay that much money and invest that much into it. I didn't know if I wanted to play it in college or anything of that sort. So I always played casually with my dad growing up, and I was a driving range brat, and I loved to go out with him. That's what I loved to do. And he said, well, there's tons of scholarships in golf. You should give it a try. I had a natural swing. And then freshman year, he's like, okay, if you don't like it the first year, then you can go back to soccer. And I found friends and a great coach, and just continued.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Well, you said you didn't want to have the expenses of traveling for soccer, and then you chose the least expensive sport to play of all time, of course, the rounds of golf. There's probably lots of reasons I don't play golf, but
the courses are much prettier than a soccer field.
True.
You have that.
Variety and scenery, right?
Never the same golf course. That's an interesting phenomenon about golf is, you know, a lot of baseball fields are very similar. A lot of soccer fields are very similar. Although baseball fields, the outfield's never the same. But so how do you go from course to course when things are going to change for you as a coach and as a player?
I think we do quite a bit of preparation during the practice rounds there, but you know, there's so many variables. Weather is one, right? You know, it was really cold up in Vegas a couple weeks ago, freezing cold, and it rained a little. And you know, we're going to go to conference in 2 weeks here in the Valley, and it's probably going to be over 100 degrees. So, you know, you just take all the factors into consideration, and it mostly comes down to prep during the practice round, I think.
What are you looking for in that practice round as a coach?
You know, we do a lot of focus on choosing our targets on certain holes for driving the ball, positions on the green where you do and don't want to be, things like that.
So not what I would do out in the trees, left or right.
No, not Army golf, Tim.
Down the fairway. I like it. Sophia, how about you? When you're preparing for a round or going to a different course, what are you trying to do?
Trying to keep in mind that honestly, a course is different every day you play it. You can go to the same course and every day it'd be different. But ultimately, you have to have the right mentality and be confident in your game. And when you go to the driving range that morning of a tournament, you set up to it and you think through the process and you mentally toughen up while you're preparing for the day ahead, knowing that there could be unexpected things, weather, unexpected holes, you don't play the way you want to or expect to. And you have to sort of roll with the punches and just adapt while you play. And if you have that in mind and you play the game you have, then you can develop that as you play.
Okay.
Very good.
Kevin?
We are visiting with Kristal Parker, the ACU women's golf coach, along with Sophia Higuera, a student athlete here at Arizona Christian. Sophia, we'll double up with you on a question. How did the Southern Nevada Junior Golf Program influence you and help your game today?
Wow. In a lot of ways. I played in that program all 4 years of high school, and I met the greatest girls. It was just nice to develop my game and be on that grind. Like the whole summer leading up to season, after season was over in the fall, I was playing in tournaments year-round, and it really did develop me. And along with playing with my dad every weekend, you know, playing from the yardage that college girls play from, you know, and developing my game in that way and just prepping for collegiate play here.
Have you ever had an ace?
I have not, unfortunately.
But wait, she
Coach
had an
Kristal?
eagle. She had an eagle this year
That's
on
nice.
number 8 at Moon Valley Country Club. That was pretty
80 yards
exciting.
out, yeah.
She held it.
80 yards out with club.
It was my 54.
It's
Yeah.
4-degree sandwich, yeah.
Okay, fit 4-degree sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Tim, I know you knew that.
I could tell you about the 4 clubs I had in my bag, and one of them would be a sandwich. By the way.
But at the 54-degree sandwich.
Maybe not. Maybe
That's
not.
the deal. That's the degree of difficulty here. How about you, Coach Kristal? How many aces? Obviously, you played on the LPGA Tour, which is beyond impressive, let alone the success that you had on the tour. But if you can go back a couple years, do you recall a couple more than one?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I played golf for 29 years before I had my first hole-in-one.
Wow.
And then I had the second one 30 days later. I've only had 2.
Amazing. We were talking with the fellas last week, talking a little golf, and I don't know if it was Connor or if it was Leon. They had a hole-in-one, and they somehow got through the end of the event without having to pick up the tab on the drinks. So how does that work for you, Kristal?
I actually had my second hole-in-one on a $10,000 hole in Hawaii, but it was during the practice round, so it didn't qualify.
Okay.
I got off scot-free. I did not have to buy drinks for anyone either time.
Fantastic.
So, Sophia, we've talked about your favorite courses. And before the show, we were kind of talking about our favorite play in baseball, and someone's mentioned the 5-4-3 double play, the triple play, you know, throwing out somebody at home. What's your favorite swing in golf? You like the long drive that sends you in, or you like that long putt that you're like, yep, I'm in the hole, let's go?
I would say I love hitting my driver or a good 7-iron. Anything that is crisp and nice and, yeah, advances the ball is honestly. But, yeah, I do love striping the driver down the fairway.
And I will tell you, she does it very well. In fact, another gal who's going to be one of my assistants next year, Carrie Kohatsu, her daughter Kia signed with us. And Carrie was looking at Sophia's driver before the holidays and said, this driver's short. Like, this is not the right club for you. And I had not even noticed that. I felt terrible. Anyway, at Christmas time, Sophia's dad got her a new driver, proper length, and she probably added 20, 25 yards onto her tee shots. And she hits it very, very accurate and consistent off the tee, for sure. One of her strengths.
Yeah.
That's such a necessary statement to make, right? Because if anybody has ever thought about getting custom golf clubs and never wanted to put through the effort to go through that process, if you really want to continue to play golf, it's a necessary evil. You got to spend the time to do it because it will pay dividends just like it has done for Sophia here.
Yeah, especially the gals at this level. You know, they're coming in with not a ton of experience, and unfortunately golf equipment is very expensive, which is kind of a bummer. But I think if I could get all the girls fitted into the proper equipment and we had somebody who would help us with that in terms of paying for it, it would make a huge difference in our golf results right now.
Tim?
I'm sure it would impact mine, not one bit.
Where's that list? Let's go ahead and add the golf team to that list of some necessary fundage.
Correct,
right?
correct.
Go ahead and move that right up to the top of the food chain right there.
Thank you.
Or go ahead and get your NILs and then get your clubs that way. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Coach Parker, the GSAC championships are coming up here in April later on at Briarwood Country Club there in Sun City. What are your expectations for your ladies in this particular tournament?
You know, they've been working hard, and finally we've kind of let go of working on our swing and technique. We've been focusing on short game the last couple of weeks, and already their qualifying scores have improved quite a bit. I think that we're going to have our best seasonal scores there, and I think that some of the girls are going to shoot some personal bests that week. I'm excited for them.
Should be fun.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Right here locally, just over
Sun City.
Technically surprised with Sun City
Yeah.
West. And conference will be there. Lots of stuff going on in the conference. The tennis tournament will be going on at the same time. So what do you hope for as you leave the course? What would be a successful tournament for you?
I think just having our personal best scores for the year in terms of team score. You know, we've not always been able to compete with 4 or 5. We do have 5 now, and I think that it will give us a lot of momentum going into next year because we have a roster of 10 next year, which is going to become a much more competitive team. But I'd like to see the gals have their best scores of the year to give them confidence and just some excitement heading into next year.
Coach, I got to mention some of the things that you've accomplished in your career. Some of these sponsors are pretty interesting, and boy, have the times changed, I must say. One of them was the Cup Noodles Hawaiian Ladies Open. You finished 20th in that.
That was my very first LPG event. Yeah, I finished 20th.
Tied for 20th. So
Yeah.
you remember that was your very first event,
Yep.
huh?
I waited a long time to get out there. It took me 19 years to get out there from when I set the goal at 12 years old.
Wow. And you accomplished that goal. The standard register ping, that used to be very vast. It was a large tournament. Maybe it's still called the standard register ping. I don't believe it is, but
No.
that was a sponsor for a long, long time.
It was hosted at Moon Valley. Ping has been a strong supporter of women's golf, and yeah, I did have my best finish there. I finished second one year. I don't know, 96 or 7, something like that.
My final one for you, any experiences that you could share from your time on the LPGA Tour or even just some other competitive golfers that might have been fun stories during your endeavors on the tour?
I have a lot of fun stories, but I think
you can name drop here.
That's okay.
I
won't do that.
We'll pick them up. Sophia
Here's
will
what
help
I
us
will
pick
say,
them
though.
up.
Here's what I will say. One of my coaches, I was blessed enough to work with some of the top teachers in the world. And back in my career, David Ledbetter was one of the top instructors. And he used to always tell me, wherever you're playing, enjoy it. I struggled through qualifying school. I missed my tour card by 1 shot 7 years in a row. And that was a pretty brutal beating. But I persevered. And it was a blessing in disguise because I got to play in Europe and Asia and Australia and Japan. I lived in different countries. It was fabulous. But he used to always say to me, I don't care where you play, just go enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And I really want my girls to enjoy their collegiate experience.
I got to ask you, Sophia, I know we're running short on time. You got a few teammates here in the audience. Who's the jokester on the team?
Oh,
Hands down, we know who that is.
yeah, it's Serafina for sure.
Serafina.
Yeah, it doesn't take
Serafina
much for
present?
her to
She
crack
here?
you up. No,
No,
okay.
she's not. She's being a scholar. She's at tutoring right now.
Which is
yeah.
Yay, Serafina.
Good call. All right, just had to ask.
I want to
Yeah.
throw this out as we part ways here. For you, Sophia, did you happen to see Sam Bennett, who was the only amateur,
I
or he
did.
finished to the highest?
Yes.
Did you see his tattoo?
No.
Oh, you got to look that up because there's a really incredible message from his dad, his late father, who died of Alzheimer's, which is, I can't imagine the age of that young man is 23, and his dad is dying of Alzheimer's. Something skewed there. But either way, if you take a look at the tattoo, it's very, very inspirational, and it's a message of encouragement. And he's able to look down at this message throughout the entire tournament and the rest of his life. But it was a handwritten note before his dad passed away. But it was, I can't recite it, and I don't want to butcher it, but why do I have the name? Why do I have butchered on my mind? That's something from Tim. That's a throwback joke from last week in our conversation. At any rate, ladies, it's been a great conversation with you. We thank you so much. Good luck at Briarwood, and go shoot low rounds, huh?
Well, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
That is Sophia Higuera, along with her coach, Kristal Parker, right here on the Storm Report. We're going to take it to, a little medicine side of things, if you will. The director of sports medicine, Travis Armstrong, is here on the show, and he will be accompanied by Megan Vetter right here on the Storm Report. Don't go away. We welcome you back inside the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside Tim Gooszen. And now on the main set here is Travis Armstrong, the Director of Sports Medicine here at Arizona Christian University, alongside Megan Vetter. We welcome you both. How are you this evening, post-Easter?
We're doing great, man. We appreciate you having us on.
It's our pleasure. We could thank Tim, our talent coordinator over there.
As Travis and I talked about, the barrel was pretty empty, so I had to go to the trainers.
We are glad that we could actually be in the barrel instead of on the outside.
Let's just start off with what was in the past, and that is March was the National Athletic Training Month, and I'm just curious how that went for you and Megan and all of your cohorts there on campus here.
Oh, March is every year is the National Athletic Training Month, so it's a great month to be able to celebrate all the different athletic trainers around the country and here that we have on staff here at ACU. So it's always nice that our teams reach out and show a little love to us, to the different athletic trainers that spend their hard working their time helping them be successful on the field or on the court.
How does this program help you personally, as well as Megan, and then our university here?
The month of March being the athletic training month?
Just the organization, the fact that it brings notoriety and it brings awareness to what you do and your craft.
Oh, it helps us out a ton because a lot of people don't really understand what an athletic trainer is. So the month being dedicated to some extent to athletic trainers and what we do, helping to heal athletes and get them back healthy and doing what they love to do is wonderful because it starts to open up some eyes and gives us a chance to have some conversations with some people that wouldn't otherwise understand what exactly we do.
So, Megan, for you guys celebrated the month of March by the last week. You guys did a day in the life of the athletic trainers, and all of you on staff here at ACU got an opportunity to film yourselves and put yourself on social media about the day in the life of. So I think those were all fairly realistic. My favorite that I'm thinking of was Mary posting, "I'm at baseball. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm finally packed up from baseball. It's 11:30 at night." That was one of my favorite. But go back to that. What was your favorite message that was shared through those day in the life of athletic trainer days?
No, I absolutely loved doing those day in the lives. I thought that was a cool perspective just within our department, how different our days can look. Kicked it off with doing mine kind of with our March Madness, being with the men's basketball team, and giving a look into behind the scenes of what that was like in Kansas City. And also, for me, a big takeaway was I added in a little thing at the end there because, it's tough with those big losses from an athlete standpoint, from coach's standpoint, but sometimes from an athletic trainer, we go through it too. We get those relationships with the athletes, and we go through that whole year in the season, the ups and downs. So I kind of put in a little snippet of what that looks like, and it was hard time, but then also like being very blessed to even get that far and make it through that season. I thought Travis's day in the life was pretty cool with all the meetings and different tasks he has. But yeah, it's just the variety of how different it is even within our own department.
Travis, by the way, I'm still waiting for my royalty check from when you shot us in that meeting. So anytime that's welcome.
It's in the mail.
Okay.
Just keep holding your breath for it.
I look forward to it.
Gosh, that postal service is so tardy these days.
It has gotten slow.
Megan, what was that experience like? You're in Kansas City Municipal Auditorium. It is a mecca for a lot of the student athletes in the NAIA, a place that I've coveted to go to and visit and broadcast for a long time. Haven't made it yet. But what was the experience like for you in your role?
I love that experience. We're fortunate that was my third time to go with ACU men's basketball. It's such a cool experience to see the athletes on that stage. Just the day when we got there, NCAA Big Ten, I believe, was there having their championship, and then how quickly that city turns it around for the NAIA, and it's all class act. They put on a really good championship there, and the athletic training staff there that host that, incredible, very helpful too, and you get to meet a lot of people and network as
Sure.
well. I've seen some of the same athletic trainers from the different schools every year, and it is athletic training month, so it's one of those cool little nods too that I'm always like, hey, good job, those kinds of things.
Now, do the trainers hang with your team, or do the trainers, when you have some free time, if you will, or it's a meal time, do you hang with other trainers and learn about what they do or how they go about their business, or do you guys kind of stick with your student athletes?
For me, it kind of depends. A lot of times we're going to practices and shoot-arounds, and then for our team, they kind of do meals on their own because you stay downtown and there's a lot of eateries down. This time I hung around with the coaches a lot, but I actually got to connect with one of my old preceptors from when I was a student athletic trainer, and kind of connect with her because she's now working out there too. But it's here and there, but I've had lunch with our athletic trainers that are also in the GSAC when their teams make it,
Okay.
and just keeping that connection because we all have the same goal in mind, keeping our athletes safe and healthy and seeing them be successful.
Outstanding.
Travis, you have a dual role here at ACU. We talk about your director of sports medicine, but you're also the director of game ops, your associate athletic director is the starting title, and then there's a whole lot of things that go with it. So you play the dual role in the chance that, like softball, for instance, it's coming up next in the segment, you're their trainer, but you're also usually running the game ops side of stuff as well. So walk us through the process of your day when you're working with athletes, keeping them healthy, but at the same time you're worried about, I got to go set up speakers for softball.
It's an interesting combination to try and navigate. End up being able to be a part of their game in just more than just one way, right? So trying to increase and make their experience on the field better by keeping them healthy, trying to get them ready. So typically on a game day, I'm going to get them healthy, get them ready and out to their game while I'm kind of setting up things on the side and getting everything arranged to be able to, as soon as they're done and off to the field, then I'm off to the field to set up the dugouts from an athletic training side with the water and the tables and all that, and then get the speakers out, the music on, the broadcast set up and all that stuff. So it is a little bit of a balancing act to make sure that it all gets done, but it's enjoyable in a lot of ways because you get to touch more than one part of the game for them.
One part that was weird when a year and a half ago is when you took on the game ops role as well, and so heading into football season, we were like, how's that going to work? Because normally the game ops person for football is just running around like a chicken with their head cut off, but you got a lot of athletes to tape and get ready. And so I thought, and I know you had this same thought, how's it going to happen? And I can tell you from the game ops side, I thought it went very well, and you did a great job doing that balancing act. You do it for softball as well. But football season had to be a strain on you going all the way back to the fall.
It is definitely stressful, but I've got a couple phenomenal staffs, really. I mean, my athletic training staff, they step in, they step up. Anytime they see a need, they fill it without even having to be asked. They are just a phenomenal group, and we're a family within that department, and they're always looking out for each other and looking out for me and helping me out in many ways. And then my game ops staff with Armand Jackson and Jake Landon helped out this year as well. They did a great job on the game ops side for those games. I helped get everything kind of set up and arranged, and then they really took the reins and ran with it and ran a lot of things. And our softball team, being the phenomenal group that they are, stepped in and really helped out in the football season and took control of a lot of the smaller things that I didn't have to worry about because I knew they understood what they were doing, taking the tickets and helping usher people to their seats and shagging balls and that sort of stuff. So once you get a good group in place like we've got here, it really makes things so much easier and makes it flow so much better.
We are speaking with the Director of Sports Medicine here for ACU, Travis Armstrong, along with Megan Vetter. And my question for you, both of you, we see the National Football League put a tremendous amount of money and emphasis behind this program. We also see the NC2AA working around this. We've seen Barrow Neurological Medicine get involved with this. Concussions, the NAIA has done a lot to change how we deal with concussions. Are you seeing any of the changes that have been made in the last 4 or 5 years? Have you seen the changes translate to the field? Is it a safer game? Are you seeing concussions? Has the rise declined? Has it been nipped in the bud? Where are we at with the concussion scenario?
It's an interesting combination of both. In a lot of ways, it's a safer game because there's more education out there and people understand.
And that's huge.
That is huge, yeah. And coaches finally getting that understanding of what a concussion is and the danger of it. And you're starting to move away from when I was younger and when I played, we got your bell rung. Just shook off the cobwebs and kept going. And in a lot of ways, coaches are starting to understand the long-term impact because it's become so prevalent, and they're starting to move away from that. And kids are understanding that too. And so we're seeing numbers kind of increase because kids are reporting more because they're more aware of it and they understand the severity of it. Mm-hmm. But we're also seeing some safety measures that have come into play that are helping out in a lot of ways too.
Megan, what are you seeing as it relates to concussions?
Kind of right along with what Travis just said. The biggest thing being education. People are starting to realize and speak up when they think they have something or just not sure, and just opening that conversation and knowing that, it's not going to be a right away, like this is what it is. So just opening that conversation. And for here, the coach has been phenomenal. Our word goes and not a lot of fight with that. And that's a big thing. And I think just education from all of those organizations has been a big contributor to that as well.
And within that education side, you see players reporting things on each other. Mm-hmm. Reporting, hey, so-and-so's they're not acting right. You might want to check them out. They're not tattling on them, but they got each other. They got their backs, and they're trying to help out each other.
Tim, do we have anybody on game day during football that's kind of the eye in the sky that works for the NAIA or anybody that's helping kind of
Travis is the guy in charge.
Because I think that's been helpful in the National Football League, NC2A, where you've got someone, granted it's another budgetary concern, but you got someone that's looking out for that, and they're getting those guys that appear to be a little wobbly. They're getting them out before they even have a chance to take another shot.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have that here, but I've got a phenomenal staff that doesn't have to work the game, but they're coming to help. Megan comes to help out.
Sure. And
she'll point somebody out, and our team docs are on the sideline with us, and they're always keeping an eye open. So we don't have an official eye in the sky, but we've got a lot of different eyes on the field.
My last thought, Tim, I often refer to Tyler Duncan, the quarterback at ACU, as the franchise here. And Tyler has taken some shots over the years. And whenever he looks like he's banged up, and, we're just kind of speculating, Ed Cole and myself up in the booth, we're not sure about this one. And 2 snaps later, he's right back there on the field. So really a kudos to both of you and your team, your staff. It is amazing what you guys are able to do to get our student athletes back on the field in short order. It's very impressive.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Travis, I got to add for you one thing. I know you your wife, Akshay, is in athletic training as well, so you have an interesting household. Well, you got 2 twin kids running around, and you guys got to balance the books on how that's working when your wife is an athletic trainer just right up the street, right here at Cactus High School. And how does that work in your family when both of you have so many responsibilities regarding athletic training and other things here on campus for you?
Well, it is a bit of a juggling job, right? And she works, down at Cactus High School, so she's home in the morning most of the time. So she's able to help out with a lot of the things around the house and getting the kids ready for school. I drop them off. I come here. But if we both have a late night, we either have family that help out or we have a caregiver that comes to help out. And we'll pick up the kids and take them home for us until we can make it home.
Of course, your kids are the unofficial young staff of your department, as they tend to be at a lot of games.
They do. They love to come to softball games. I think they've been adopted by the softball team for the most part. And my daughter's the rally fairy, so she's got to come and get dressed up in all their rally gear. And they love to give high fives and stuff. And even in the clinic, they'll come and hang out in the clinic, and they'll show athletes how to do their rehab exercises, which is a lot of fun to watch them out there. When they were little, they'd bring their stuffed animals, and they'd show the athletes how to do the exercises with their stuffed animals. You got to do this with your legs. You got to do this. And now they're out there trying to help out, and they want to clean, and they want to just be a part of anything they can.
And they like to pick up rocks and anything else that they can find and put in Dad's truck.
Absolutely anything they can find, yeah. So we're going to gather it all up.
I think I said this was my last one, but this really is my last one. Are you amazed, yes or no, 30 seconds or less, Megan, how impressive and how trained these athletes are, how they come in so athletic and physically ready to go? Does that amaze you, either one of you, on how these student athletes are coming? They're coming on campus prepared athletically, physically.
Yeah, no, it's definitely amazing to see, and especially it's really appreciated to see when they know that right away, like what they need to do to take care of the body, to be preventative, because that's a big theory for us is we're going to be preventative a lot of ways to keep you on the field and not necessarily have to hold you out the whole time. So when they come in trained, ready to go, it just helps make our job a lot easier.
Yeah, their education's gotten better. They understand their bodies. They know what they're feeling, and it's a better and easier conversation with them. It's not us telling them what's going on. It's them giving us information, us relaying that back to them, what it might mean, and then we come up with things as a collaboration to help them get better.
And we approve the diet. Chick-fil-A is working for everybody, right? We're cool on that?
Sure.
It's a good sponsor here. They take care of us.
Yes, can't complain about Chick-fil-A for sure.
Or the DST mill in the college. Yeah. That one works too.
You heard it right there from the director of sports medicine. That's Travis Armstrong, along with Megan Vetter. And both of you, thank you so much for your contributions, and thanks for being a part of our show here tonight.
We appreciate you having us on.
Don't go away. The main attraction is coming up. We've got Kaitlyn Anderson and Neely Bell. We're going to take it to the center circle here, right here on the Storm Report. Don't go away. We welcome you back to the Tower Grill for the Storm Report, season number 2, episode number 20. I'm Kevin Derryberry. He's Tim Gooszen. And the ladies in the middle, Kaitlyn Anderson to my left, and then Neely Bell to Kaitlyn's left. Ladies, welcome. A little practice this afternoon for Coach Maben's group, huh?
Oh, yeah, always. All
what
day,
was
every
the
day.
what was the intensity like in practice here for a team that's 24-12 right now?
It's always intense.
I'd say
Every
it's-
practice.
Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, it's like an 11.
So describe the intensity. Who sets the tone? Is it the coach or is it a player? Is it pre-practice routine? Who sets the tone for what would be an intense practice?
I would say Coach Maben definitely sets the tone. He always comes out very energetic and just kind of excited. But honestly, I feel like all of our teammates and everybody on this team, they just kind of keep it going. So, I mean, Coach Maben sets the tone, but I think everyone else is always really excited to be there. And we're excited to be with each other and just keep working on getting better. So it kind of just keeps the ball rolling all the time.
Kaitlyn, you agree with that assessment?
100%. We almost raise the bar at times, especially during hustle drill. It gets pretty intense. So.
What happens during hustle drill? Sorry, Tim.
All good. Go ahead.
It's a quick drill. We get
hustle.
4-minute rounds of just straight constant softball. I mean, balls hit, you're running, throw the ball in, hit the ball again.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, for you, we get to celebrate you this weekend. Senior Day is coming up, hopefully Saturday. We haven't heard anything different, but should be Saturday. So your senior day for you, but for Kate, you've done this in 3 years. We've had you listed as a junior. You came to us as a freshman, and you approached me before the season. You said, "Hey, can I be a senior? I'm actually graduating." So we got to start with that. Kudos for that. You're getting graduated in 3 years, and most people has taken a solid 4, if not pushing 5, and you're rolling out in 3 years. So what's been your secret to success to do that in 3 years?
I came in with a lot of credits out of high school, and I just kind of rolled with it, and we're here. I'm very goal-oriented, so I knew I wanted my master's, and why not get it sooner?
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Neely, you've made the trip around the valley kind of, and got to play at that one little small school down the street, Grand.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't remember where that school is, but so you had the opportunity.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know. It's some little school somewhere down. I think it's down to 17.
All purple and weird.
Yeah. So you came to us. You're in your second year, but you had an interesting start to your career in the sense that your career it started with hip surgery.
Oh yeah.
Here at ACU, and then you've come back and you've done things like hit a grand slam home run and have some fun times like that. So your experience in the year of really getting to play, you got in for the last 10 games of last season, and probably it was just really getting accustomed to swinging a bat again. And so your first full year, how's it gone for you?
It's gone really well. I mean, it is my 5th year. Last year I kind of went in anticipating that was my senior year. And then obviously I ended up having hip surgery, so I knew I wanted to play one more. This year's been really crazy. I was supposed to do my student teaching in the fall, and I ended up taking a full-time teaching job instead. So I teach all day. I teach a bunch of 12-year-olds, and it's nice and interesting. And then I come here. So just kind of being able to see everything fall into place so quickly has been really cool. And all my teammates and coaches, they've all been super supportive, and they always ask me how my day is, and they'll ask me about certain students and what kind of funny things happen. And it's just been really nice to be able to see everything come together at once, but also be able to focus so much on softball and just kind of being able to play the game and having fun with it. So
I don't think having fun is a problem for Neely Bell. I don't think that's the problem whatsoever.
Grandma still got it.
Nickname, by the way, Grandma, in case you.
Grandma. Okay. Well, I got to say that.
Have fun.
When Neely took the set, we knew that she was going to be spunky, and she knew that she had a personality. So we immediately knew we were going to have some fun with that. But for you to be able to kind of separate the issues, to be a full-time teacher, not a part-time teacher, a full-time teacher, that's very impressive. How do you juggle that and still keep the spunkiness to be a young lady and play with your teammates and enjoy the experience of a college student athlete and live like an adult the other 8 hours of the day?
It's interesting most days. Like I said, I teach middle schoolers. I teach 12-year-olds, so, maybe our personalities mesh really well.
What school?
Desert Shadows Middle School.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I mean, my mom is a teacher. Well, she's been a teacher, and now she works up in admin. So, she's been a great help, and most of the teachers that I teach with, they've known me since I was 5. So, they understand what I'm going through, so they help me. They're very supportive. And like I said, Coach Maben and all my teammates, they've been nothing but supportive. I mean, if I come to practice and it was a rough day at work, they're always there to lift me up. And it's just really nice to be able to come out here and see all my friends and smile, and they push me to keep going, and I really love what I do. I love working with the 12-year-olds and messing around with them. So honestly, I mean, it's a lot, but I love all that I do. So
it seems like you both have one thing in common, and that is incredible parental support. I know for you, Kaitlyn, your parents still live in Antelope, California, yet Tim said that they make the trek out here almost every game. But parental support has been key to both of your young ladies' success.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I joke about it all the time, how often they're down here. Tim's got to know them really well. But
I do.
Do they stay at your place when they're here?
No, I had to kick them out a couple weeks in. But they mean the world to me, and it means the world to have their support. They're my rock, and they've done this journey with me the whole way, and so to finish out with them, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
If you ever want to get to know the Anderson family, just watch some of our softball broadcasts, and your dad is almost in every picture that we have zoomed in on home
He
plate.
can wave high. Oh, yeah.
Just put his hand up, and that'll
Yeah.
be Mr. Anderson. So I do get an opportunity to meet with them. There are some of the families that I write game notes every day for all the doubleheaders, and your parents are one that I see all the time. The Buckleys are one that I see all the time. When your parents are there, I'm talking to them and handing stuff out. And so it's just a joy to get to the opportunity to meet some of your parents. And, you sit a chain width away from some of them because they're like, we make our little press box and put a chain around it and say, hey, no parents, but they're like sitting the other side of the chain.
That's
so
my dad.
yeah, I'm having a conversation. He's in my ear sometimes. Are you sure that was an error or a hit? Or like, yep, I'm pretty sure. I'm good with what it is. So, but your parents, both of them are always cheering, and your mom's there. Come on, Nines! And I hear that ringing out in the stadium all the time. And of course, the Andersons. So, when you break down as senior day is approaching and you're going to have the opportunity to play your final home games here at the ASU softball field, what kind of thoughts are you going through your head? You're like, I can't believe my college career is coming to a close so quickly. Or you're like, really? I'm ready for it to be done.
I think it's more, to me, it's just crazy because my sophomore year was COVID, and then I was over at GCU, and then last year I had hip surgery. And so as long as it has felt, it also felt like it went by so quick. And I feel like every athlete kind of knows, like, at some point you're just kind of like, oh, senior year, it's so far away. And then you're in senior year and you're like, oh gosh, I'm almost done. And so it's definitely nerve-wracking and it's bittersweet for sure. Part of me, I'm excited to see what else the real world has for me, but definitely going to miss it. I don't know what I'm going to do with all my free time anymore, but I'll find something, I guess.
Probably teach.
Probably do the lesson plans I should be doing already.
Right. Kate, how about you?
Yeah, like Neely said, it's bittersweet, but just enjoying the moment. It came fast, almost at times it feels like it's coming too fast, but we still have a lot of season left, so just handling business at home and then looking forward to the next games we have.
You go on the road for a couple to wrap up the regular season, and then I hope to see you guys in Irvine. JD and I will be there working the softball tournament and baseball tournament that happen simultaneously a parking lot away from each other. So looking forward to that. As you, again, look to your future, what do you think that holds? I'm guessing teaching, but Kate, what about you?
I'm hoping to move here full-time and then get my master's in sports psychology is the goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who need help in sports psychology.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so that's the plan right now. Free time, I don't know. It's going to be crazy, Neely. We'll probably be texting each other like, what are you doing?
We'll hang out.
I'm bored. What should we do?
You want to go hit?
I think the golfers need the most help in psychology, though. The golfers. So start there.
Yeah.
That's going to be an easy job right there. Neely, I got a question for you. 304, 4 home runs, 31 RBIs. Tim mentioned it, nines. Your parents referred to you as nines. Let's go nines. 99. That is an impressive sports number.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 42 and maybe 23 in some cases, but not everybody can don number 99. What made you wear number 99? What was the influence behind nines?
Growing up, I've always been kind of like the smallest one on the team. So, Kate is a little bit smaller than me, thank goodness.
Just a little.
But typically I'm always the smallest one on the team, and I just wanted to have the biggest number. I wanted to have the biggest number out of anybody else. So if I was going to be the smallest one, I at least have the biggest number.
So it's an ego thing. You just that's fantastic.
It's an ego boost for
That
sure.
makes it even sweeter to be number 99.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the ego.
All right. Last one for you. 10-4 away. Tim mentioned it. You're going to finish the weekend series on the road. It seems like that you have certainly played well all season long at home at 500, but it's the away series that you kind of you seem like you've had more success. Let's put it that way. What's been the success behind those road trips for you ladies?
I think just going out there and playing free,
Oh, yeah.
We start, if we get out early and we score those runs, we play free and we have fun. And we go in knowing that we're going against someone on their home field and we want to take 2 away from them.
Yeah.
So.
You're going there to win the series.
Absolutely, always.
I like
take it from them.
Well, Neely, for you, it's got to be, I didn't work with 12-year-olds today, so
yeah,
I
was going to say,
ahead.
usually a calmer day, too, not having to come straight from class.
Survive a van ride with all of us.
Yeah, which is pretty similar to teaching 12-year-olds anyway, so.
Well, I tell you what, Tim, this has been our pleasure tonight, to say the least. Neely Bell to our left here, and Kaitlyn Anderson also to my immediate left. But a special thank you to Kristal Parker and Sophia Higuera, as well as Travis Armstrong and Megan Vetter, our friend Luke Sanders, J.D. Hamby, my broadcast partner, Mr. Tim Gooszen, and for you, everybody that watched tonight's broadcast, and for our global viewing audience, we thank you for watching tonight. Until next time, so long for now.